Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Commander Pod, your Magic the Gathering podcast for all things Commander. I'm Spencer Simpson.
And I'm Kelton Howell. This week, we are talking about cards in Commander that have underperformed based on their hype. So these are cards that we felt were talked about or anticipated when they first came out and have since maybe fallen from grace. They don't see as much play as we thought they were going to.
Okay, so I was worried from the intro of that I misunderstood the prompt because I picked ones that I felt like had some hype and aren't played as much as we thought, which I think is what you just said.
Great.
But also, I think people should play more.
I mean, I think a lot of these are perfectly serviceable. There's a couple that I picked that I don't think people should play, but for the most part, no. That sounds great to me. I mean, that's even better because those are like diamonds in the rough that people can put in their decks.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed on.
Okay, fine, you get an A+.
So, okay, cool. All right. As long as I'm not just like fully derailing what we want to be talking about, then I feel good about that.
Okay, well, I'm going to kick us off. I've got one that I'm excited to talk about. This is one that came out in Modern Horizons 3 Commander. It is 1 red for Tempt with Mayhem. It is an instant, and it has Tempting Offer. Choose target instant or sorcery spell. Each opponent may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy they control. You copy that spell once, plus the additional time for each opponent who copied the spell this way. You may choose new targets for the copies you control. So when this came out, I thought this was just going to be like a new Tybalt's Trickery. Because Tybalt's Trickery is 1 and a red for an instant counter target spell. Then you choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards. Then exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card with a different name than that spell. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then they put the exiled cards on the bottom of their library in a random order. Tybalt's Trickery is kind of like a red counter spell. It's like red counter magic or instant speed stack interaction. And that's how I thought Tempt with Mayhem would play.
Sure.
And I think I bought this card at like $6 or $7 and it's now 29 cents.
Okay, yes. So because it's once plus the number of times it's copied, right?
Yeah, so if someone plays a counterspell and then everybody copies it and points all of the counterspells at the thing that the original spell was trying to copy, you can counter all of those plus the original one.
Interesting.
Because you get to do it last, and you get it once plus the number of times.
So, like, you cast a spell, somebody tries to counter it, and then you say, Tempt with Mayhem,
Tempt with Mayhem, yeah.
And then everybody's like, cool, we'll copy it, but you still have the one additional copy. Okay, but you still have the one additional copy, so you can counter the original and all of everyone else's copies as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I can dig that, yeah.
I think that's good. I mean, like, red just doesn't get that much.
I mean, what's crazy is that it's an instant or sorcery. So, like, Flare of Duplication is a copy spell that's, I think, a better version of this. Came out in the same set, but in the main set.
Yep.
And I think it's a better version of this. But I have had a Flare of Duplication that I didn't hardcast. But this is the same cost as Flare of Duplication. And I've had a Flare of Duplication that, like, somebody was doing what's the board wipe? A Decree of Pain, I think, that kills all the creatures, and then you draw a card for each creature that died.
Sure.
This way, for each creature destroyed this way. Someone cast a Decree of Pain, and I Flare of Duplicationed it.
Nice.
The thing that's very cool about Tempt with Mayhem is that it is the exact same functionality for any sorcery that's like a one-time. Like for that,
you always get yours first.
Yes. Yeah. The downside is if someone's like, I am going to cast a Peer into the Abyss, and you're like, me too, and then everyone else is like, me too.
Great,
also.
Me too. And then you drain most.
And then you draw your deck by half each, like 4 times or whatever, 5 times.
But also, if someone casts like a draw 5, then that's like a draw.
That's
20
true.
For you. Like that's really good.
Yeah. Okay. So no one should ever say yes to copying. This is the same with any of the Tempt cards. You should always say
but also
no.
3 mana draw 5 is still very good. Like even if nobody copies it, because you get 1 plus the number of times your opponents copy it. So you'll always get at least 1 copy.
Yeah, but as soon as anyone copies it, you are getting it's a 3-mana draw 10, and then
that's
3-mana
awesome.
draw
And the last person
So
should
good.
always if nobody copies it, the last person should always copy it.
Yeah, baby, Prisoner's Dilemma.
Yeah. I don't know. So I don't know. I figured I'd see this card a lot, and I don't ever see this card. And to be fair,
It's
I
a
bought
cool
one
one.
and I haven't played it.
So
I don't know. I just
price
never
to go back up so you can dish out
Sorry.
your copy.
No. I want to put it in
No,
a
just
deck.
kidding.
Really, what I
Yeah.
want to do, because I think this is cool in red.
Yeah, I mean, I say the same is true for most of the ones that I picked. Is outside of a couple that I am already playing, is that I am trying to convince myself that I need to play those cards at some point, or I have wanted to play them and haven't yet, and thought, why haven't I played that? Because it's so good. I think this is one of them. This falls in that category for
Cool.
sure.
Okay, cool. So maybe we weren't too far off of each other's interpretation for this episode.
Absolutely not.
Okay, do you want to go next? Do you want to tell me about a card?
Yeah, absolutely. My first one is Windcrag Siege from Tarkir Dragonstorm. So it's 1 red white for an enchantment. And it says, as this enchantment enters, choose Mardu or Jeskai. If you choose Mardu, it says, if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Or if you choose Jeskai, it says at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. I am learning something. I messed up. I think I messed up with this.
Oh no! Is
with
it
this
not
card.
as good as you thought it was?
No. I think it's very, very good. I played in a pre-release with this, or not a pre-release, but a sealed event with our friends. And no, I did chose Jeskai, and I didn't. The haste till end of turn I totally read. The lifelink I didn't read until end of turn. And so this card I thought was so much better. And so you
just thought it was spitting out 1/1 red goblins.
Oh
with
yeah.
lifelink.
Yeah, which is insane. But still, the fact that it's spitting out like non-ephemeral 1/1s each turn is very, very good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
And the fact that it's Ishin 2 Heavens is 1 on an enchantment in fewer
That's harder
colors,
to deal with.
That's harder to deal with is insane. And I remember people freaking out about Ishin being like a better Wolfgar? A better
Is
Wolfgar
that
of
the
Icewind
Gruul
Dale?
one? Yeah, the Gruul one from
Yeah. And so I think this card is incredible. I think the same could be said for many of the sieges. I think the sieges are all just very, very good.
I love that we got another round of these. They're awesome.
They're so sick. And so this one I want to play. I need to put it in a deck. I don't play a lot of Boros, but I need to find a good Boros deck to put this in.
Yeah, and you feel like this one was hyped, but you haven't actually seen it since it released.
Yeah. And that could be because we don't have a lot of
Boros.
we don't have a lot of friends playing Boros. Yeah. But I just like I guess part of me is also going off of like price too, because we have such a limited pool of stuff in our group. And it's like nothing to sneeze at in terms of like what it costs to buy a Windcrag Siege. But part of me is like, maybe it like this is good. Like this is a very good effect.
I think it is probably really good. I think most of the sieges are. I do think quite a few of the sieges are underplayed.
I think so too. I do have a question for you about
hit me.
the sieges in general, not battle sieges, but this type of enchantment where you choose as it enters. Because it's templated as this enters the battlefield, is it an ETB trigger? Or is it a... It's not an ETB trigger.
I think it works the same way a lot of clones do. A lot of clone effects, they enter as the thing,
as
so
a
it is
copy.
not an ETB.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was curious about, because I was like, is there a world where we could double this and you get to choose both? You don't. No,
because I think if you copied it, it would already have that mode selected, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it would enter as a new instance, so you could probably choose as it's entering. So yeah, if you had something copied enchantments, you could get all the things.
Okay. That's cool.
What's funny is that these two actually don't work together. Like they wouldn't benefit one another if you had both of them.
No, but they both are just like.
But they're both very
solid.
good in Boros.
Yeah.
They're both doing the Boros thing.
100% they are.
Okay, I have another one. This one, I'm going to talk about this one, even though I think I was the one hyping this card when it came out. I don't know that I heard a lot of talk about it, but I looked at this card and I thought, well, this automatically replaces a staple in Commander. This is Anzrag's Rampage. It's 3 red for a sorcery. Destroy all artifacts you don't control. Sound familiar? Then exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of artifacts that were put into graveyards from the battlefield this turn. You may put a creature card exiled this way onto the battlefield. It gains haste, and then you return it at the beginning of the next end step to your hand.
Okay.
So this is just Blasphemous Act, except for it also draws you a card that gets onto the battlefield for a turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just I called it Anzrag's Rampage. Did I refer to it as the same card? What did I say? Or Blasphemous Act? Did I call it Blasphemous Act?
You said Blasphemous Act. You meant Vandal Blast.
I meant Vandal Blast. So this is Vandal Blast that dashes a card, which is like guaranteed hits a creature.
Yes.
Practically.
Because when you cast Vandal Blast for the overloaded cost, it's the same.
4 and a red.
It is 4 and a red. So it is.
And this is 3 red.
Slightly less restrictive. Pip. Yeah, 1 additional pip, but the same mana cost. The same CMC.
How many times have you ever cast a Vandal Blast for 1 red mana?
That is a good question.
Because I don't think I ever have. I know that's the benefit of Vandal Blast. I know that the idea is you can kill an early artifact threat for 1 mana. I'm just going to save up for 5 mana and get rid of everything, I think. Right? That's almost 90% of the time I feel like that's how I've played Vandal Blast.
Yeah, I don't think I have actually cast a Vandal Blast for years.
Sure. You just don't run it in your decks anymore.
I'm not playing enough red decks that play Vandal Blast.
Sure.
I do think I play it in Strephon. I just haven't drawn it and it hasn't been relevant. If I ever play against your Brago deck, it'll for sure be
so
relevant.
Good.
I'm so excited to.
How much better would Anzrag's Rampage be in Strephon though than this? Because this gets you a vampire onto the battlefield for a turn.
That's
true. Really good.
That's pretty dang good.
I just think it feels almost like a power crept Vandal Blast. Like it almost feels strictly better. And Vandal Blast is still depending on the copy, $2. And Anzrag's Rampage is 14 cents.
Yeah,
it's seen play in less than 1% of decks on EDH Rec, I believe.
Yeah, I do think people really, really value the modality and flexibility of Vandal Blast.
Do they need to though? Because they don't cast it that way, right?
I mean, okay. In a red deck where your removal is relatively limited, though your artifact removal is not very limited. It is 1 mana destroy an artifact, especially if that artifact is I think
it's very good. I mean, Nature's Claim is super good.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to compare it to. Yeah, and so it is
but Vandal Blast feels better. The fact that you get rid of all of them,
for sure. So if you are playing a deck where you are virtually always casting Vandal Blast, or in a pod where you're virtually always casting Vandal Blast for 5 mana, and you have creatures with enters the battlefield effects, or you have creatures with attack triggers, or you have creatures with whatever. Play Anzrag's Rampage. If you have top deck manipulation, play Anzrag's Rampage instead.
I don't know. It seems good, but then again, I have copies of it that I don't play. So I also just don't run Vandal Blast that much anymore. Though in our new Precon League, where there's going to be a meta, then I think playing that kind of artifact hate is going to be potentially
It's going to be good. I am so excited for that, by the way.
That's going to be fun.
I am currently waffling between a couple decks. And we had to have a pretty serious discussion about what
Power
is
level.
Acceptable. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you pick.
Yeah, it'll
we'll
be
have to
fun.
provide
we'll
an
see.
update after our first round.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
that's
excited.
it for me on Anzrag's Rampage. I think people should probably be playing it instead of Vandal Blast for the most part.
I mean, yeah. I think with the logic of you're casting Vandal Blast for 5 mana every time, I think you for sure should.
And I mean, it's not even just a cantrip.
In a creature-heavy deck.
It's not even a cantrip. It gets you a relevant card. Most of your creatures are going to be relevant in your deck, right? Yeah, and you're right. You do have to be running enough creatures.
In a
you
deck,
probably want to be
28,
30 creatures probably.
Sure. Yeah, if you're running a Spellslinger deck, play Vandal Blast over this for sure every time.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Because this cheap spell is good in that.
Yeah. Can I tell you a card that I'm excited actually to oh shoot. to run in our pre-con league. That's
Yeah,
so
is this
cheap.
one of the one on your list, or is this just a card you're excited about?
No, this is a card that I think is going to be very good in a pre-con league.
Oh,
that's
this
trying
is
to
a
stay within
bonus
budget.
card. This is an
Yes.
intermission bonus card. Okay, tell
This
me
is an
about
intermission bonus card. And I have to remember the name of it now. Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Does it have something to do? Does the text on the card say for each pre-con commander?
No, it says destroy target artifact without paying, and it's in red. And it's if you Mog Salvage. If an opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost.
So funny.
Destroy target artifact. I think Mog Salvage is insane in a budget.
Like anything that's like basic land synergy, you think is going to be good against precons just because of the mana base?
Yeah, but it's not basic. It's an island or mountain. So if they're playing
like the bad fetch, the tapped fetch land
or whatever,
fetchable
yeah,
lands.
it just destroys an artifact. Kind of cool. Anyway,
cool.
Sorry about that. Let's get back into it. I'm going to say this is going to be going kind of reverse chronologically for sets because I kind of was going through the sets and thinking about what cards from this set did I think were cool.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is going to be older than Dragonstorm.
This is going to be now older than Dragonstorm. In fact, it is one set older than Dragonstorm. It is from Aether Drift. It is Vinwixed Verbose Host.
Oh, I loved this card.
Or Vinwixit, or whatever. It is 1 and a blue for a legendary creature homunculus with start your engines. And it says you have no maximum hand size, and if you have max speed, if you would draw a card, draw 2 cards instead. So, what I will say about this card is if you get this card in the late game and you have nothing that cares about your speed, this is like a bummer to top deck. But there are lots of cards that are worse than this that are bummers to top deck late in the game. I think mostly I was hyped at this one because I was for our pre-con league. I'm going to be talking about it a lot, I guess. I was thinking about Gaunty Cunning Inquisitor or Acquisitor. And when I was looking at some of the ways people were building the deck, they were putting in a lot of unblockable creatures. And I have just been impressed over time with how quickly you can get to max speed.
I was going to ask that. Have you seen a lot of max speed in Commander?
I have not seen a lot of max speed in Commander. That being said, it is not particularly difficult to have opponents lose life on your turn.
You know what deck this is so good in? This has got to be really good in the new Ishtola deck, right?
Oh, yeah. For sure. It's
because you're draining life every turn, and so you hit max speed pretty quickly, and then you're drawing 2 cards on each of your opponent's turns instead of 1 card.
Yeah.
This seems great in that deck.
It's got to be wild. Now, your speed only increases on your turn, so it's once a turn cycle that speed increases.
Yep.
But, like, you do have to get this kind of early. But even so, like, you go through a lot of turn cycles, especially in casual Commander. This would
be a really fun budget commander to build, actually. To do like mono blue, this is the commander, and you just run all the 1/1 unblockables. And then you run like whenever you draw your second card each turn, you like the what's the wizard dude that does that? It creates a fairy every time you draw your second card each turn.
Yeah, the mischievous mystic.
Mischievous mystic. Yeah, this would be a really fun build.
Yeah, for sure. So
So do you think the reason why this has underperformed, this has been overhyped, is just because max speed isn't very good?
Potentially. I think my brain might be a little polluted from having played limited in this set, where it is
this was really good in limited, I felt.
Yeah, just like reaching max speed is not particularly hard in a one-on-one format. Which leads me to believe that it's also not very hard in a Commander.
Because you have 3 opponents to choose from.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get through to have one person lose life, or like I don't know, someone cracks a fetch land on your turn, or like.
Do you just have to have a critical mass though? Because like you said, this is only good if you can get to max speed, and so that only really works if you draw it in the early game. Because limited, you had a lot of things that got your speed going. So even if you top deck this in the late game, it's super good because you were already at max speed.
Yeah, you do have to have enough things that care about start your engines, max speed stuff.
Which is why this would be better in the command zone, because you're guaranteed to do it on turn 2.
Yes. Okay. So maybe this one's a little bit of a flop in my suggestions.
No, it's true. I mean, that was the whole point of the episode, is like cards that looked really good. I remember being super hyped for this one when they announced it, and I do kind of feel like it's flopped.
As I was looking at limited, it was really not hard to get max speed, and I think it's because you do have generally a critical mass of start your engines cards or whatever that get your speed going to try to start getting towards that end goal of Vinwix it or whatever.
I had a limited deck that had 2 of these, and it was insane. I'm pretty sure I got 7 wins with that deck on Arena. It was wild.
That's insane. Well, because it also blocks pretty well.
It blocks super well, and it was I'm pretty sure I built a Simic deck with 2 of them in it, and the Simic Exhaust deck is already super grindy and wins in a long game, and so this just makes sure that you have inevitability in the late game, since you're just drawing 2 cards every turn.
Yeah, that's insane. That's really pretty absurd.
Okay, I like this one. I think this would be a fun commander to build, actually. Now, the more I look at it, as long as you can guarantee that you're starting your max speed early, because then you don't even care if it gets removed, then it's just a 4 mana Teferi's Ageless Insight in the command zone, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you basically just have to connect on... Because this is, I think, the thing I forget about max speed, is you have to connect on the same turn that you start your engines, because that puts you at 2 speed immediately.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, for sure. So if you can go, if this is in the command zone, you can go 1-drop Slither Blade, 2-drop this, attack with Slither Blade, count up to 2, then you're off to the races, right? Then the next turn.
Yeah, I mean, it feels somewhat similar to the Malcolm... The new Malcolm with the chorus counters.
The Alluring Scoundrel or whatever.
Yeah, Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel. Yes, thank you. It feels similar to that, right? Where that Malcolm, you have to attack 4 turns in a row. Yeah, exactly.
I think Malcolm might be better in the 99 than this one is. But
for sure.
I think
is equally
Malcolm belongs in this deck. For sure.
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's a 2-mana evasive flyer that draws a card, so then you draw 2 cards.
That loots. Yeah. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, here's my next one. Modern Horizons 3 Commander. This is another one from Modern Horizons 3 Commander.
Okay.
This one did have a lot of hype going into this set, and has since flopped super hard. Another one that I think I spent like $6 or $7 on is now less than $1. It's Final Act. 4 black for a sorcery. Choose 1 or more, destroy all creatures, destroy all planeswalkers, destroy all battles, exile all graveyards. Each opponent loses all counters. The reason it was hyped so much is because it is templated so similarly to Farewell. And then as you look at the modes, it is so much worse than Farewell.
Yeah, I mean, so when we were talking about what we wanted to do this episode, this is one of the cards you had mentioned initially. And I looked at the card and thought, this does like a pretty decent impression of Farewell. Like you destroy all creatures and then you exile all graveyards and they're all gone. And immediately we're like, yeah, read those other 2 clauses though. And it's destroy all planeswalkers, which is like pretty good. And then destroy all battles, which is virtually irrelevant. And you're not hitting artifacts and you're not hitting enchantments. I was actually just surprised to learn that Farewell doesn't hit planeswalkers.
Yeah, because it feels like it does it all.
Yeah, it feels like it just hits everything. And
it also exiles everything,
over.
and this one destroys things except for graveyards, right?
Right, but because it does it in this order, everything goes to the graveyard, gets exiled. Oh,
right?
Sure.
Okay.
So the only thing that it doesn't have, first of all, it's not hitting the same things that Farewell is hitting. But if it did... Basically, it just wouldn't be killing things that are indestructible, but it would have the same effect to everything that's not indestructible, which is
I mean, that's actually a pretty big downside when you could just be playing Damnation. Sure. Yeah, I mean, really, this is only good if it hits one of the other things like Planeswalkers, battles, or energy or experience counters, right?
Yeah.
That's all.
Farewell's really like a hard reset button. This is like a soft reset button and is double the cost of Toxic Deluge, which is also relatively cheap right now.
Yeah, totally. I mean, even Farewell's cheap right now. It's like $3. That's crazy.
Yeah, which makes me really excited for a Precon League because we have a $5 upgrade
Farewell
budget
in there one week. Yeah, this is going to get nuts.
I'm going to slap a Toxic... Yeah. Yep.
I love it. Okay. Though it does have this card does have some of my favorite art from this set. It's from Neil.
Oh, it's so cool. The art's
amazing.
awesome.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome.
Okay. What's your next one?
My next one is going to surprise nobody. And it is, you know what? Should I go reverse? I thought about skipping one. I'm going to talk about this one because I think it's such a good card.
Okay.
Final Showdown. Final Showdown.
And you think this one was overhyped? You feel like this one has not lived up to its hype?
Okay. I don't think that's... I think... Here's what I think.
Because I think this one has lived up to its hype.
I think it has. I think it's very, very good. So maybe this is... Maybe I got a little carried away.
Is this just you talking about your favorite cards?
No. Listen. Hear me out. It was very hyped.
Okay.
It was like when it got released, it was like a $20 card. It was like insanely hyped.
Okay.
It has gone down since then.
Okay.
So here's what I'm saying. It was very, very hyped. It is not seeing as much play as it was hyped to see.
Okay.
And I think people should play it more, which I think fits in the bounds of our prompt.
That's fair. It is in technically less than 2% of decks on EDH track.
So here's what I'm saying was it overhyped in the sense that it's not as good of a card as people were saying it is? No. I think it was correctly hyped for how powerful this card is. Was it overhyped for how many people actually put it into decks to be used as a card?
Probably.
100%.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm landing on this one.
Okay. I like it.
It is more people should be playing this. It is an instant speed board wipe in which you can protect one of your creatures.
Yeah, you should read it.
Okay, I'll read this. I'm sorry. We'll read Final Showdown. I just needed to argue my point for a second. I need to defend myself. So Final Showdown is 1 white mana plus. It is a card with sprees and an instant spell with spree at Mythic from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It has +1, destroy. All creatures lose all abilities until end of turn. So white and 1 does that. +1, choose a creature you control. It gains indestructible till end of turn. Mm-hmm. And then +3 white, destroy all creatures. So
it's a 6 mana Wrath, or if you pay all of it, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, you get rid of everything except for one of your creatures.
Correct. And no death abilities trigger. No, indestructible doesn't matter for any creature except for yours because it gains indestructible after the abilities are lost.
Have you cast this as just the first line? So just 1 and a white, all creatures lose all abilities until end of turn?
Oh, yeah.
It seems really good. It seems like that probably comes up more often than you think.
It's so good. I'll tell you about it. So we were playing a game where I was very low life total, and someone was board wiping, and one of my opponents was playing a zombie deck and had out some of the zombies that deal damage to opponents when zombies die. It had out a lot of zombies, and they're like, sick, I'm fine with this board wipe. Spencer's going to die as part of this board wipe, and he's kind of in a scary position. And in response to the board wipe, I didn't have the mana to make one of my creatures indestructible. I think it was like a Toxic Deluge or something, so it didn't really matter. So I just 1 and a white, all creatures lose all abilities till end of turn. All the creatures die. I take no damage from any of the death triggers.
That's awesome.
And then it goes to my turn. It is so good.
This is a cool card. I am glad that it's come down in price so that people can pick it up who want to play it.
I think it's awesome.
It is pretty pip intensive. It is 3 white pips if you want the whole 9 yards.
100%. It is very pip intensive. So it doesn't go in every deck. Doesn't go in most 5-color decks unless you're playing Garth and can get a Black Lotus. But it's so flexible. So
do you run
a card that I always wanted to play.
What?
Sorry, what?
Do you run this in Garth as your
I do.
White
I do as my 3 white pips.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So a card that I'd always wanted to play is Dress Down, which is 1 and a blue, all creatures with all abilities till end of turn. It's an enchantment, and you draw a card. I believe it's an enchantment.
It is. It's a flash enchantment that you sacrifice at the end of the turn.
Sacrifice at the end of the turn. Yep. So, and creatures lose all abilities while it's on the battlefield. So it doesn't. So you can't give another creature indestructible. I think during that time, creatures just don't have abilities, which is kind of sick. This one is temporary. It's just until end of turn. And it doesn't cantrip, but it has so much more flexibility than Dress Down does because it's a Dress Down or it's a heroic intervention for a single creature, or like a Snakeskin Veil or whatever.
Yep.
Sans exile effects, or it's a board wipe. And I just think it's so good. I think
That's
it's an
cool.
incredible card.
I think this is a great pick, and I think we've talked about it on the show before. People should play this. It's very, very good.
We for sure have, and so I did kind of use this as an excuse to say play more Final Showdown, but it's such a cool card.
I love it. Okay, I've got a few that I've got to choose from. I only get 2 more. This is really hard.
I know.
I think that except for I picked 8. I think I had 8 cards that I was choosing between, and all of them except for one were under $1. And I think that all of them are seeing play in less than 1% of decks. So I think these are all kind of flops. Okay, let's do Vats. Vats is from Fallout. It is 2 black for an instant with split second. So as long as the spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. And it says, choose any number of target creatures with equal toughness. Destroy the chosen creatures.
Wow.
So let's say that there is a creature that is a problem that has 3 toughness on the board. This is a 4 mana instant. Kill the thing. They can't save it because this has split second.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to wipe out any other thing with toughness 3 that you want. That just happens to be on the board. I think if you look at this as like a board wipe, it's really bad. But I think if you look at this as I get to destroy one thing that they cannot respond to, and I get to pick off anything else my opponents have at the same toughness as a bonus, this card's crazy. I think this card is pretty good, actually. But it, once again, super hyped. I think there was a lot of excitement for it when Fallout first came out. It is not seeing play. It's just nobody's playing this card. And I think it's probably pretty good. 4 mana for a removal spell is pretty steep, but it has built-in protection for itself. And it usually is going to remove more than one creature. It completely wipes 1 power creatures. Oh, sorry, toughness. 1 toughness creature. So if there's a token deck, you just get to like wipe out their entire board state, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty solid. Yeah, split second is very good. And the fact that it sometimes gets you 1 more creature is like pretty solid. And 4 mana is a lot for a removal spell, especially these days. But for an uncounterable removal spell, that's like at instant speed, that's not bad.
No,
like
that's not bad. You can leave it up, right?
Yeah, and you can get something else too, which is super relevant. Play this with humility. Isn't humility banned?
Humility is banned. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's the suspend version of humility that is
no
not banned.
way.
Yeah. It's like suspend 6 or something.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Someone was actually just talking about it in our Discord this week, the different ways that you can cheat it out so that you basically just get humility.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
There's the same one with balance, right? That's like suspend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Humility is not banned, I don't think. I think it's just a game changer. I was thinking of balance. Thank you for catching me on that. I was thinking of balance. Yeah, it's just a game changer.
Yes,
and I don't think there is a suspend version of humility. Maybe there probably is actually, but I don't.
Restore balance is the suspend one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for catching me on that. I misheard.
Oh, balance is such a sick card, dude. Unban balance.
No, this is really good with humility. This is crazy. This would actually be really fun with humility. Vats. That would be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be wild. Yeah, Vats is
sick.
It's
really good. It's really good in Maha that gives all of your opponent's creatures toughness 1.
Yeah, that is stupid Maha. Yeah, well, I was thinking like I was debating building like a -1/-1 counters deck at some point, and if you distribute your counters correctly,
this gets a lot of stuff. Actually, that's really fun. Yeah, Maha is number 4 on most played decks.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
It's in 27% of Maha decks.
Wait, and then the number ones have to be from.
Well, it's Caesar because it comes in Caesar.
I was gonna say it has to be from the pre-con, right? Cool. That's very cool.
All right, tell me this is your 4th one. Tell me your 4th.
I guess, dude. I should have skipped Vinwix because I had some better ones, I think.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. I'm worried some of these are going to fall into the trap that Final Showdown did of, you think this is overhyped? It's so good.
We'll see. I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna skip a couple of them, I think, and I'm gonna go to one that I legitimately think was overhyped.
Okay, tell me.
And it's Insidious Roots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell me about it.
So again, what we're saying here is not that this is a bad card and we shouldn't play it. What we're saying is this card got a lot of hype. People were like, this is Cryptolith right. This is so good. And then nobody plays it. I feel like. Though now Cryptolith right is like so cheap that like.
So Insidious Roots for an uncommon is still pretty expensive. It's $1.74 for Insidious Roots uncommon, but that's because there is a standard deck called Golgari Roots that runs Insidious Roots, and it's like kind of the linchpin of the deck.
Okay, well that's good to know. So yes, for an uncommon, that is like it's not 50 cents, right? It's like not super cheap.
But it's not played very much, I don't think, in Commander. It's played in it's played in like
5% of decks. Okay, maybe this is played more than I thought. All right, but should I switch? Should I pivot to something else?
No, I like it. Tell us about it. Read it. We haven't even read it yet.
Okay, we'll read Insidious Roots. So it's black, green for an enchantment. Creature tokens you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color, and whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 0/1 green plant creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. Yo, I forgot about that second line. That is so crazy. That's like...
Yeah, it's really good in like a deck that's doing Sir Conrad type stuff, right? Or it's really good in the new Teval.
It's insane in the new Teval. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this card is very good. I think
I do think it was overhyped. I'm with you on this one.
I think when it first got released, people were like, "This is the new Cryptolith Right." And what's crazy is like Cryptolith Right now just saw a reprint, and it used to be $20, and it's now like $2. Like it's the same price as Insidious Roots. And so I think the reason this was overhyped is because Cryptolith Right is overhyped a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless you're playing like a really creature heavy deck.
Enduring Vitality.
Enduring.
What's the green one?
And Vitality, you're right.
Vitality.
Yeah, Innocence is the white one, which is the one I think you were thinking Vitality was. Yeah, Enduring Vitality. I will say I think Enduring Vitality is better because it is a creature, and it dies into an enchantment.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a better version of these. And this effect like is undoubtedly good, but this is not as good as Cryptolith, right? In terms of making all of your creatures tap for mana. It does make creatures to tap for mana, but that is like decently difficult to do.
Yeah, because this only goes in creature token decks or decks that are making creature cards leave the graveyard.
Yes.
Right?
Or both, or trying to do both.
Or trying to do both. That's when it's good. Cryptolith Right and Enduring Vitality can just produce mana from any creature. It doesn't have to be creature tokens.
Yeah, so if you're playing
that does make this much worse.
Yeah, creature token decks just do better, and this only goes in Golgari decks, right? Can't go in any green deck. In any case, I do think this is a very good card. I think the art on it is amazing. I like playing this card. I just think it is, and I think people should still play it, but it is not seeing as much play as I would have thought.
I agree.
Would.
I agree. Yeah,
definitely.
Just because it looked like Cryptolith Right at uncommon.
Yes,
but I don't think it plays like Cryptolith Right at uncommon.
You know what's wild is it sees more play than Cryptolith right now.
Does it really?
Yeah, that's crazy. Cryptolith Right's like at 3.5%, and this is like at about 5%.
That's all green decks though, and this is
that true. This is
like Golgari just wants to have creature cards leaving the graveyard. I think this has a lot more synergy with Golgari decks.
That's true. Enduring Vitality sees play in 6.2% of all green decks. So
yeah. That's interesting.
Anyway, I think this card, people are really excited about it being printed at uncommon. It's very good. I think I lost the plot a little bit in what we were looking for this episode.
It's still a cool card. I'm glad you brought this one up. Okay, the last one that I'm going to talk about. This is my final one. And this one is still very expensive. It's less expensive than it was, but I haven't ever seen it played.
Okay.
And it was much hyped. And it is only showing up in 1.9% of decks, which seems low for this color and this card. This is Everybody Lives, which is from the Doctor Who set, and it's 1 and white for an instant. All creatures gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Players gain hexproof until end of turn. Players can't lose life this turn. Players can't lose the game or win the game this turn. Does this see CEDH play?
Not that I'm aware
You've
of.
never seen it. I feel like this was one that people talked about being CEDH viable as like a counter to Thoracle or something like that, right? To be I'm going for a Thoracle win. Okay, I'm going to make it so nobody can win this turn, right? I just have never actually seen this card played except for when I've played it in the pre-con that it's in. And it feels so much bigger than Heroic Intervention, but it's probably situationally worse than Heroic Intervention, right?
Yeah, well, because it's all creatures. So, like, Heroic Intervention isn't just, like, hooking you up big time. It is hooking up all of your opponents when someone casts a Blasphemous Act. I do want to compare Everybody Lives to another card called Angel's Grace.
Okay.
Which is 1 white for an instant with split second that says you can't lose the game this turn, and your opponents can't win the game this turn until end of turn. Damage that reduces your life total to less than 1.
Super similar. Everybody Lives also saves creatures.
Yes.
But Angel's Grace just has the win con thing, and it has split second, which is crazy.
So
one sees CEDH play.
It does. Here's what I'll say. It sees CEDH play. I don't think it's a good card.
Okay.
Like, it's like, and so the fact that Everybody Lives doesn't see play in CEDH does not surprise me.
Sure, because if Angel's Grace doesn't, then why would Everybody Lives?
Yes. What does surprise me is the price tag on this card, because I don't think it's that.
It was like
good.
$20 and now it's like $8.
Still.
And that still seems high based on the fact that I've never seen this cast. Someone is gonna say in the comments this amazing interaction that they have with Everybody Lives in their deck, and I would love to hear it. But I have not seen it cast.
I just man, is this just like, let me do a favor for the table for 2 mana. Like, I don't think that's like, and some counterspells are that. Like, someone's going for like a win or trying to find a combo and counter their thing. It's like, oh, I'm doing a favor for the table, whatever. But like,
it's a win more card, right?
Yeah, but that counterspell that you use can also protect your stuff, right?
This only does one thing.
Yes, and protect yourself like asymmetrically, right?
Yeah.
And this only does one thing, which is like, all right, everybody, I am hooking us all up for this turn. Let's move it along. You know what I mean? Like,
I think this card was probably overhyped. I was on the hype train. I thought it looked really good, but as I've sat with it, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, I think people like it's close to Heroic Intervention. We now have Dawn's Truce, which is literally Heroic Intervention in white.
Yeah, and I do like Dawn's Truce a lot.
I like Dawn's Truce a ton. I think this like people were stoked that this kind of does an impression of Teferi's Protection, kind of like if someone's like trying to like pop
for
off.
everybody, not just for you, but that's why Teferi's Protection is really good, is because it's just for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd rather play something like more asymmetrical, like I think it's a knight that is 1 white and faces out all your creatures, which kind of does a Teferi's Protection impression or whatever. Or like Flare of Fortitude, right? Which kind of does the same thing.
Or is it a Chroma's Will that also does something very similar?
Oh, let's talk about Flare of Fortitude. Until end of turn, your life total can't change, and permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible, which is like...
So the only clause that it's missing is the part where people can't win.
And people can't win. Yeah, right. Yeah. So someone's got to win the game
and
thing
the part
happening.
Where it cares about opponents.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this card is probably not very good.
Yep. I think this one truly falls in the overhyped category.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
So I guess I did well.
You did a good job.
That was the goal.
You did a good job.
Okay, tell me your last one. Pick carefully.
This one is for sure the one I'm talking about. It is one of my favorite cards ever printed, and so I'm going to take the opportunity to talk about it.
And you think it is worse than people think?
No. That, again, time out. The criteria was it is played less than we think it should be, right?
Okay.
Based on the hype that it got.
Sure.
I don't know.
Tell me about your favorite card.
Got a little muddy here. Tyvar Jubilant Brawler.
Yeah, this one's sweet.
Okay, let's talk about Tyvar, and then I'll tell you why. I wasn't going to put this in the list, but I looked it up, and I felt confident about putting it in the list. So Tyvar Jubilant Brawler is 1 black green for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. Tyvar and it says you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Sick. It has +1, untap up to 1 target creature, or -2, mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. In the deck that I play this in, the first 2 clauses are the ones that matter, but the third one is pretty relevant as well in Golgari. This is just a sick card. I think this is like one of the best Planeswalkers ever. like it's just
Would you,
so.
If we continue down this route of like legendary vehicles being able to be your commander, and next is Planeswalkers, because I think Mark Rosewater actually put out a poll on his Tumblr. He was like, do you guys think that we should let Planeswalkers be your commander? Would this be one of the first ones you build?
Ooh, potentially, because here's the thing: is I think it like, man,
because it's cool. It would be
that would
really
be
cool
sick
as
to have
a
in the command
commander.
zone.
Yeah,
you just build it as like dorks and other like tap abilities, I guess. I'd have to think about that because right now it goes in my Garth deck, but like I have put it in several iterations of decks that care about creatures like activating abilities, and I just think it's a sick card. It is currently 87 cents. The reason I felt comfortable putting this in the list is because if we look this up on MTG Stocks, Jubilant Brawler. When the card was released, it was a $8 to $10 card.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah.
And it has not seen a reprint.
And it has not seen a reprint.
It's just that the hype, it had way more hype at the beginning, and it has
People thought this was a cool card, and then it fell off, and I don't think it shouldn't have fallen off, which is why it's on this list, because I think Tyvar is just incredibly good.
Do you think, is it the fact that it kind of feels like it's got, is it too narrow for most Golgari decks to be playing? Because like you play it in Garth because it's insane in Garth. It's an untapper.
Yeah, it's an untapper. It's an untapper
and it gives haste to Garth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is certainly insane. I am very biased because I play Garth. It's my favorite deck, and this does really well in Garth. But I also think it's just good. Like it does Golgari Elf things very well. Like
I think it's really good in Golgari Elf.
Yeah, you play an Elf turn 1, and then you play Tyvar turn 2, untap the Elf, play another Elf, dork, tap that Elf, play another Elf, or something. Like, that's crazy. You just get to go nuts. Activating tap abilities. There are so many tap abilities that are so good. And the worst part about them is you have to wait to do them.
Yeah, you don't get to do it that turn.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
And so what Tyvar lets you do is he lets you get some of the best tap abilities twice on the turn that you play them.
True. And it's an
insane.
uptick. And it's the plus
uptick.
ability. That's
the plus ability.
Really good.
So if you're putting this in a deck that has good tap abilities, it is the best card to put in a deck that has tap abilities if you fit it in your colors. Because it's also free to do that. Like you have other things that do that. Like you have 1,000-year Elixir. Let's look at 1,000-year Elixir. How about we look at 1,000-year Elixir?
Sure.
1,000-year Elixir. 1,000-year Elixir is an $11 card. It is a 3-mana artifact that says you may activate abilities of creatures you control those as though those creatures had haste, and it has 1 and untap target creature. Is this colorless and can go in any deck? Yes. So that affects the price almost certainly. But it has seen more printings. It costs some mana to tap it, though it's not a planeswalker, so you can activate it more than once, right? Like that's
sure.
a thing. If you can like get some like crazy loop going or whatever. But this is like Tyvar on an artifact with like no upside. Do you know?
Sure.
Like it's like
yeah. I think I'm looking right now at some of like the commanders on EDH Rec that Tyvar sees play in, and I see the appeal. I see the power. There are more.
I like Tyvar.
There are more Golgari commanders with tap abilities than I initially thought there would be.
Yeah, and so maybe it goes mostly in decks that have tap abilities, but man, do I just think this card is so cool.
I do think this card is very cool. I think that's really sweet.
It also mills you, which Golgari likes. It likes to be milled.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that the mill, I guess it returns something to the battlefield. I was going to say, it's interesting that the mill is the minus and that the untap is the plus.
Yeah, because you look at like what's her face, Kiora, and the untap is a minus. Yeah. But
interesting. I think this would be a fun commander deck if it got opened up to being a legal commander.
Oh, that'd be so fun. I just think it's cool.
I love it. That's sweet. That is a good one. You picked some very good ones, and I like that the ones that you picked, you play in many instances.
Yeah, yeah. These are overhyped cards that like suck that I'm playing. I nailed the prompt. I
love it. I love it. Well, I think we still had a really great discussion. Hopefully, you all maybe found a new card that you're interested in playing. Tell us about a card that you think was overhyped and has since flopped and not seen as much play as initially expected. Thank you all so much for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to join our Discord. And until next time, remember to always pay the one.